The time is 6:34 PM. This is the regular council meeting of Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. Location is in the council chambers and on the Zoom video conference platform. Counselor Gowdy, Counselor Martin,
Present.
Counselor Austin, Counselor Smith, and Counselor Stevenson. You have a quorum. There is no presentations. No minutes to be approved at this time. That's okay. We'll have those on the next one. It was a crazy week. No, it was a busy week for you, Council President.
President, good evening, East Cleveland. Good to be with us, and those of you on the Zoom. As always, I'd like to remind you to stay abreast of what's going on with the worldwide pandemic, coronavirus. Please log on or visit the Ohio CDC, Center for Disease Control website, or the county's website, to find the latest stats and information. Again, I encourage you to get vaccinated. Go right over to Walgreens and get vaccinated. We were at our last meeting, there was a big concern regarding the issue at Euclid and Chapman.
Yeah.
I'm happy to say that that issue is temporarily resolved. So we found a Ohio Department of Transportation approved asphalt layer company to actually do it on an emergency basis. And it is a temporary fix. So if you drive over, you'll see that it is not smooth. It is a temporary fix to get us through the winter season. As you know, it would have been quite treacherous traversing it as it was for the winter.
We're going to recognize Counselor Austin's here.
Greetings, everyone.
Sorry, Mayor.
How are you, sir? Great, thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Good to see you. Again, I'm excited and I'm hoping we'll begin to address a number of pieces of legislation that have been sent down to council to look at passing that would help us provide better services to the residents, increase the quality of life, businesses here in the city of East Cleveland. There are a number of pieces of legislation that are in your purview. I really enjoyed the meeting last night. Councilman Austin did ask for basically a listing of those legislation that are in council chambers waiting to be acted upon. Right, so that would be great to have that consolidated, and I'm really glad he asked for it, because we need to start moving this stuff forward so that we can continue rebuilding these Cleveland together.
I'd like to get a copy of this legislation.
So that's coming right from your clerk. Yeah, and once we get it, we can look at it and verify if anything is missing, or maybe some things need to be on it, because there's a ton of things that we're looking at that we sent your way to help improve the C. Most noticeably is the $30,000 price increase for the streetlights, which we are out of at this point. They have about a 4 to 6 month lead time, right? Since we first sent it to you over 8 months ago, that price has went up 30,000. as I mentioned last night, the Motorola equipment is slated to go up, I think, 5%. The Caterpillar equipment is slated to go up 7%. At the beginning of the year, a number of these things are slated for price increases. So again, I would encourage us to kind of move these things forward as fastly as we can.
Well, Mayor, if we put in an order, even though it's going up, will we get it soon or there's still a waiting on it?
There's still a waiting on it. However, we would be able to lock in that price
Yeah.
at the time we order,
Mhm.
so that the price will continue to move. Without us actually placing the order,
Yeah.
we have no say so on where that price goes. Prices and lead times have both been going up, right? Community Shred Day was last month. It went pretty well. I think we had a snowstorm. We had a number of residents come out, and we will be doing another Community Shred Day next spring. So look forward to that, and I'll keep you up to speed on that. Lee Road is actually finished. Lee Road is beautiful, rides well. Even the ducks.
Then I walk across it.
Oh, even the ducks love it. And I love the ducks, so that's good. I would ask that you continue your patience and be careful as you move around City Hall. As I remind everyone here and everyone on the Zoom, City Hall is closed. City Hall is not open to the general public. That will conclude my report, unless there's any questions or concerns with me, Council President.
Thank you very much. The General Service Administration did meet on yesterday. We discussed some legislation that we hope will make it before the body for a fast response and turnaround for a vote. There was also some legislation we discussed that has been in council's purview for quite some time. And of the 13 pieces of legislation that came out, 13 of them were under Councilwoman Gowdy's committee, all held up for some going back 6 or 8 months, awaiting a response from the council. So as the mayor said, there's pieces of legislation that are, how can I say, intolerably detained in council's purview. If there is more information required, I wish we could try to get together and actually reconcile those requirements and move it forward so that the city won't have to suffer. One of the pieces of legislation we discussed was the courtroom. Having the opportunity to, I wish the judge could have made it out today, so he can address his needs within this courtroom, so that we can have the courtroom / council chamber updated in a way that people can better appreciate. So when our residents come here, it's not for the bad all the time. They can come and say, wow, look at our city. And that is one of the things I want to
Did
make
he
sure that
share some of his concerns with you?
someone who's concerned, the judge is concerned.
Yeah.
I actually came down to meet with the judge, the mayor, Mr. Milran Leach and Councilor Smith, and one other person in here. And we talked about some of the things that the judge and how he wanted the bench to be set up. The fact that these medallions are not properly lined up. So whatever is to come should be appropriately lined. It should reflect the East Cleveland moving forward, and we have the correct medallion. So these are some of these medallions, that's correct. So the seals line up the way they're supposed to, and that they're the correct seals, so they can reflect the city of East Cleveland, as well as the higher headquarters that need to be reflected here. And talking about some of the eventual increases that would benefit the judge having the capacity to see his, I guess, the person that had been accused from the courtroom, from the jailhouse, and not have to bring them all into the courtroom. Making sure that the courtroom functions in a way that is beneficial, how the persons that are sitting in the juror's box would actually be seen, and how that would be lined up, how the automation equipment would be positioned in this corner right here, and not necessarily something that would impede the progress from somebody moving in that first row of seat over here. And the decision was made while we were here to make sure that that automation equipment be placed in that corner where you have to see the drop off right here. This tripping hazard right here will be removed as you see the hazard. So the judge had quite a bit of input to include selecting the color of this carpet and making some decisions as to what the other colors, making sure that it was, like I said, prudent to put forth certain colors so we can continue to thrive in this courtroom. This was an extension that the judge wanted on the end over there and said he was okay with it. But if we can get a system that reflects the same color in the council as well as the judgment, I think this was a collaborative effort so we can get this thing put away. It wasn't for the benefit of somebody on council per se solely, just for the benefit of the city, of our residents, as well as what the judge needs to make his operations a lot more streamlined and complete. If you will. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, but to make a long story short, there are some things that we need to address. And what came out at the end of the day was that this body has had some missed opportunities to do great things for the city. Working hard is not enough. We must be more efficient. We must put the needs of the resident before our own and remove some of the, how can I say, political banter that holds our city.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by?
But we also had an opportunity to hear from our Dr. Bahoviak, who's gonna be the person that is gonna be joining the council. So she had a great deal of input. She's concerned with the education of our children and having the opportunity to have a little library added to, more of them added to our city, as well as discussing some of the things that were exceptionally concerning to her. How we increase the education level of our children, which will in turn turn out to be great citizens and more astute when they came to the high school years and more formidable and less likely to be in trouble as adults. Thank you very much, and that's all I have to do with services.
Yeah, briefly, we have some legislation that we hopefully be voting on for the radios for our fire people. We discussed that. November 30th, 2021, we had a really good meeting. Chief Warden was here and we went over that. The radios have a problem with that, and that our radios currently are outdated. And we talked about a fire engine, not a used one, but a new one. We discussed that briefly. We talked about an ambulance, not a used one, basically a new one, if that can be worked out. And work on the bathroom. That would be basically what we discussed. Madam Chairperson, that concludes health and safety.
Yes, came to a couple of meetings and I did have a report on some of the things that we will be pulling out of the committee. And some of the things that's in the committee we require for documentation and have not received it. And I feel like if you can show us options of other bids, just like Cuffrey, the tow truck, Kuffner, the tow truck, he never bid. So how is he towing trucks, So a lot of this has been mishandled by the mayor. The mayor don't bring down the fully information, and when we ask to have a conversation with you, you never have a conversation with us. And even if you do have one, you always have a conversation about what you are doing instead of what the council are doing, and we supposed to work together. It's not all about you. I don't mind pulling things out, but things have to be in order, just like when we supposed to have a meeting to sit down and discuss about the money that came in for $13 million. Before we came in, the courtroom was tore up to the floor. And you already knew we scheduled to have an appointment with you on that day. And like if we asked you about Charles, about the payments and stuff like that, how money is getting paid, you never communicate with us. This is why things is not getting done. And we had an opportunity and still might have an opportunity of getting a building down the street, right across the street from your business. Well, it might not be in your name at this time, but the Cuyahoga County, offered us that building right across the street and from Rosalind, and you rejected it. Why? You already know that we need another building besides this one. And tearing up the whole city hall without coming before council, I think that's devastating. Where is the money coming from? That's exactly what we've been asking you. And we also was asking you for our people to get gift cards too, and you end up getting gift cards without coming before council. Money is being mismanaged up under your administration without coming before council. And I have a problem with that when we can't sit down and we can't discuss it. And the only time when we see you, when you want to come and appear in front of the people, in front of the public, and say what you are doing. Far as the streets and stuff is getting, this council passed that, you know? It have to take 4 or 3 votes. We have to pass that. So we have a lot to talk about, even with the furniture. The furniture have to have a bid. You did not come before council and talked about the furniture. Judge Dawson did not know about the courtroom being tore up on the floor up, because we had that discussion. We came in here one day and it was all tore up on the day that we supposed to be sitting down, meeting with you, all the council. And you refused to meet with us today. That's why things is not really getting done in my committee, because contracts and property come from me. You go behind my back and you fight. And this is part of contracts and property. So I hope that we can work together this year and do some things that's going to be right. Just like $300. You was giving out money that did not come before council. We keep asking you, where is this money coming from? You giving out $3,000 for home improvement. Where is that coming from? So you tell Charles to don't even communicate with us, and he's over the money. So we need to have some kind of conversation that we can sit down and we can work together and get through it this year, because we don't want next year to be like this year. And that's my.
Finance committee met last month. We will be meeting on Friday to go over the department budget. The process is going to be a one-day process. Hopefully everybody can fill out their information so that the time is short, because we have to spend taking up the individual department's time. And I hope everybody, if you have any questions, please send your questions forward. We went through a process where everybody got to add input into that form this year. So the form changed significantly. And that is our big process so far. The public is allowed to attend that meeting on Friday, but the public will not be allowed to interact in that meeting. So if you want to come and sit and listen, that concludes my report.
The next scheduled meetings, I think Ms. Gowdy talked about she wanted to have her contracts and properties next Friday on the 17th. And Ms. Gowdy did ask me, and I didn't get I got the email together to send up that you wanted to see if there was another quote for the elevator, so you can move that out. And Mayor, I'm sorry, I didn't get to send it up to you. She's ready to make it as an emergency, the lights, if that could be updated with the new quote with the increase, the 30% increase, and then she'll be ready to go on that. I'll send that out first thing in the morning. Her committee meeting is going to be next Friday at 6:30. And all the pieces are on there, but 2 things she definitely wanted to get moved out and make them emergencies. Today was like a crazy day. Okay, now legislation. Resolution number 6521. It's a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a 2-year contract with the District Advisory Council of the Cuyahoga County General Health District for public health services for the city of East Cleveland, Ohio, out of its general funds for the years of 2022 and 2023 in the amount of $82,752, $6 per capita for 2022, and $91,027, $6.60 per capita for 2023 calendar, to be paid in equal semi-annual installments for the two respective years. This is a first read. It's sponsored. Yes. Oh, you are the sponsor.
Put me on here too, let's see myself.
Okay, Counselor Austin, do you want as well?
I was sponsoring, co-sponsoring.
All right.
Yeah. First read.
So,
Okay, so that's going to move forward to the next council meeting on 12/21. Resolution number 8321. A resolution to authorize the mayor to enter into a contract with Motorola Solutions to purchase radio communication equipment for use by the fire department at a cost of $58,437.60, and declaring an emergency for the public health, safety, and welfare. And please note that Counselor Smith is here.
Co-sponsored legislation. Like co-sponsor this legislation.
All right.
Excuse my party.
Counselor Gowdy, did you want to co-sponsor as well?
What is it?
8321.
For the fire department's radios? That's right. Council President, did you want to co-sponsor? Okay, so it'll be Council of the Whole. All right. Requested by Fire Chief David Worley, sponsored by Nathaniel Martin.
I sponsor resolution 8321 and move for its adoption.
Second.
We discussed it on the 30th of November, or a week ago. We had a good discussion. Chief Warner was here. And we need better equipment, and everybody was in favor of it. No more than this. Thank you.
call the roll.
Counselor Smith,
Yay.
Counselor Austin,
Yay,
Counselor Martin,
yay.
Counselor Gowdy, Counselor Stevenson. It passes unanimously.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Goes into effect immediately.
Mark, question public.
Last night at the committee meeting, the mayor kindly pointed out some areas of ignorance that I had about the funding of the rehab of the courtroom. And I realized that I was considerably more ignorant of it than. And so I would like to request the following information from the administration. So what was the purpose, the stated purpose of the grant that was put in for this? How much money was requested? How much money was received? When was the money the rehab accepted by council? And what was the number of that legislation? Was the planning for the rehab of the space discussed with both the council and the judge, considering that it was a shared space? And if so, when and where was the public meeting when that was done? Because as you stated last night, I was really entirely ignorant of that. And I would like to have the full details of that, because it is a source of contention. And I believe that the way that we clear these things out is by having the information fully shared with everyone involved. And in this case, everyone involved is the entire community. So, thank you very much.
That looks pretty good to me. Maybe need a little bit of staining at the bottom. The judges just look good, the tables that y'all sitting at, but now look good. And this little bit of woodwork looks good. We got too much that needs to be done. Forget the judge's desk and forget the council's $50,000 or $40,000 desk. We got way more stuff that needs to be done than the council sitting at a lavish desk or the judge. It looks pretty good to me. Doesn't look like it's falling down. We could care less about seals when we barely have enough money to paint in here. Only thing this place needs is carpet, paint, and new chairs. Nobody cares about a desk. Stain the wood and it'll be fine. So it just doesn't make any sense. We need to learn how to prioritize. And the priority should not be to spend $50,000 on a desk that's shaped out of nowhere. Because it's gonna look like. And you're not gonna repair the city's image by a new desk or some new woodwork. You're gonna repair it by better behavior amongst the elected officials. That's how you repair the city's image. So we gotta be able to prioritize. And with that being said, I want to remind the council that we need to stop giving away all these side lots because, especially in certain areas, because some of these areas, instead of making it somebody's backyard to be bigger, it needs to be another house on that lot so that revenue can come in, especially down, especially at that end in Ward 2, Superior and Euclid area. Anything from Superior and Euclid on down needs to be saved for a developer. It doesn't need to go to somebody who owns a house and they want to expand their backyard. Who cares? You get more money if there's a house built there, whether it's 100,000, 200, 300, or 50,000. You'll get tax revenue. So please consider stop giving the lots out to neighbors, especially at that end of the city, where that land is going to be worth a fortune. That's about it.
Any other remarks from the public? Or Mayor King, can you tell me what the time frame is for the closing of City Hall for the public? Because we didn't-
Oh, you got one more. More from the public?
Yeah,
Yes.
what's your name and address, please?
My name is Sir John Williams, address 1533 Bedmore, East Cleveland, Ohio, 44118. My concern is I called, well, I've been called in a few times about retrieving some information, some paperwork, actually a petition, whatnot, and there's been loops on getting that information. I'm just trying to figure out what's the blockage from, you know, a citizen getting the information that they need from the city.
What part of it?
Whoever handles that department, the law department.
You didn't get any, sir, you didn't get information from the law department on it?
No, the lady that was handling that department says no one's been appointed to head of that department to make those calls. You know, that's what she was telling me, but I'm thinking, she been put in position, you know, for that department. For the meantime, she had the power to make those decisions. She said I had to talk to the head council, you know, for that adjustment.
Did you do that, sir? Did you talk to the head of council?
No, answering shit.
No.
You know, everyone's working from home. It's been, you know, kind of hard to reach it.
Can you be specific as to what your requirements may be?
My requirement,
Yeah, what are you looking for?
certification.
This is your opportunity so that the public can hear what your requirements are. If the mayor for some of the law department or something that the council need to provide to you, you need to kind of know what that is specifically. So we can assist you in that endeavor.
Okay, well, I need a petition for, what the individual's name, and
I mean, yeah, if that's,
What is it, without, you don't know what you're asking for.
He wants a recall petition.
a recall petition.
okay, and that's something that I've heard that we are well behind where we should be with getting that information to you. So what I would recommend, I guess I'll let her address that too. You deserve that.
But first of all, we don't have a clerk,
Mhm.
so we
We
can't
do have a
get,
clerk.
we don't have a clerk, sir.
That's the confusion.
And it's not confusing,
I
there's
mean,
no confusion.
what would be
The
the
only
reason?
person who can provide you with the petition is the clerk of council. At this time, we don't have a clerk of council.
Who appoints the clerk of
Yeah.
council?
You have to, we are doing a search to find a clerk.
Okay,
And then
and
once we find a clerk, the clerk will be appointed. And then you can get a recall petition. But
so,
until that time, you can't get, because we don't have the person there.
So the rights of the citizens is held up
No,
because
it's not about the
you
right.
haven't appointed someone?
It's not
I'm pretty
about the
sure
right. You have
it's
to find a
candidates.
person to do a job. Everybody has a job description, and everybody requires an area of expertise. So when we find that person, then we'll appoint them.
Who's filling in for that clerk now?
There's no filling.
No
Who's
feeling?
doing that work? Who's handling the business of the council right now?
The work is just clerical at this point. The decisions are made by the president and council, which is me. I
Okay,
can't write a recall petition either.
and how come?
Because the charter, of the city of East Cleveland states who can do specifically what activity.
What's your
in
turn?
the city.
Deputy clerk?
Okay, so do you have candidates for that position? I mean, it hasn't been a person in that position for some time now.
I would say again that we are searching, it is not easy to find a clerk. We are searching for a clerk, and this council knows, is aware of that.
What's the requirements of a clerk?
You'll have to go on Facebook and look at the job description.
It's on
That's
Facebook?
posted. It's posted on the council's Facebook page, yes, sir.
Okay, not on the city page. It's on the Facebook page? Okay, and that's how you get your position filled? Okay. All righty.
Can I ask a question?
Well, I don't want to get into the whole, taking up a whole lot of time, I want to move this meeting. So
This.
that's where we pretty much are.
The city's time, correct? For any,
No, you don't get 3 minutes, sir. I'm
Okay.
sure you're past that at the time.
What's your name again, sir?
Sir John,
Sir John?
yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Nice to meet you,
Nice
sir.
to meet you. as well.
Okay.
Don't leave.
Again, oh no, I'm here.
But I want to go back there, King, I would like to find out the parameters of voting and City Hall.
Then we've been through challenging times throughout the pandemic, which began in March of 2020. And at that point, back in March, and to this day, I know council hasn't had many meetings, even on Zoom. And I know even the meetings that you have had, all of you have not been there, right? However, back in March, we did sign a declaration of emergency. We did designate all employees, essential employees. We did shut down City Hall for general use. Please tell me that you remember that. And basically, every chance I've gotten, I've said the City Hall is closed to the public. And then I always give a small except, right? Because we are a government, we can't shut completely down. And the court's mandate is that they must administer justice. So we can't fully shut down City Hall, so it's always been a soft close, if you will. But I've always maintained the City Hall is closed, which is why the front door has been locked for this time. So that is the status of City Hall being closed.
So from March until July,
So from March of 2020 until now, City Hall has been closed.
but I'm trying to get, how long are we taking to do? extending the time frame?
So I can't,
So it's close to present?
it's closed until further notice. I
Okay.
wish I had a wand, I could wave one and the coronavirus would go away. But as many of you know, there are different variants coming out. And they're telling us to expect a harsh winter and more variants and more people getting sick and dying. City Hall is still closed.
Okay. And City Hall is closed until further notice, that's the record.
Should have been
No,
aware.
we need the time.
Well,
That
it's
ain't
closed
moving.
until further notice. Because like you said, it's been ready, this COVID thing in Ohio, 7,000 people in hospital. So, Counselor Austin,
Okay.
Yes, I do, I guess I'll go back to start at the top of my notes.
response of council.
Great, thank you very much. Looking at somebody talked about, Kuffner and having a contract with Kuffner, and I think when, several months ago, probably a year ago, the police came to us and said, when it comes to a traffic stop, they have limited time on site, so they would call the tow truck or tow company that is nearest to them, with their prerogative, their discretion, I would call. Now, I don't know, maybe you can let me know if I'm way off with that. That's what I understood. And there was a note about the county's training facility at the corner of Superior and Euclid. That county training facility is a building that is not owned by the city of East Cleveland. However, it's my understanding that the city actually went down there and did a walk around as part of that. I don't know how many walkthroughs they had before I went down there. I did go down there and did a walkthrough with the mayor and the chief of staff and several others. And based on some of the right now requirements, it was a leap for them to get all the sections transitioned down and having facilities, I guess, restructured. Especially it would be financially beneficial to the city immediately. In the short term, I wasn't agreeing that it was around 500,000, the city should buy it and, slowly but surely retrofit it. And based on what we have right now, it would take 3, 4, 5 years, and we may not have the financial resources in order to we need to do down there to make it, set it up just right for the city needs. Some more to follow. I don't have all the information I need to study. There was a walkthrough, and that's what I understand after the fact. The willingness of some to maintain the status quo is very discouraging to me. If you have an opportunity to improve your lot in life, those opportunities have not been around for this city for a long time. We talked yesterday about some of the infestations that have taken place in this courtroom that have been alleviated by the replacement of the carpet. I have allergies, and sometimes I would not be able to hold back my sneeze and my wanting desire to cough because of some of the things that have been trapped in here on our boots over the course of 20 or 30 years. I don't know when the last time the carpet was replaced. And now we have a carpet collection that has been installed that you can take out a section of the carpet, this 18 by 18 square, discard it, replace it, and you're back in business. If there's a stain or something happens like that, or even if there's an infestation, corral the infestation and address it. So when certain folks come to this place, and this place is good enough for you, I don't agree with that. I vehemently disagree with that. I deserve to have a place to come to work and to serve our people in a place that represents us. We are a very strong, very proud people. When we talk about having, natural resources, those natural resources come from the same place our ancestors did. They were diamonds and gold and silver. They're still mining those diamonds, gold and silver where they started way over across the water. So when you talk about what's good enough for me, I don't agree. So the best is good enough for me. I deserve that. So I pay my taxes just like everybody else, and I want the best for my resources. I want them to spend it right now. We haven't had the capacity to do certain things that we're able to do right now. And for now, I say, let's do it. So there is an opportunity for our clerk who used to be the city's clerk. So you're talking about capacity. Sometimes we look beyond the place where we should be looking for something extra. I'm looking for somebody else. I'm looking for somebody better. I'm looking for somebody with less pigment in their complexion. You have to look where you are for what you have. Employ your organization according with their capability. So if you have somebody that can fulfill those slots, the one that we need right now is a piece of paper to stop you from getting where we need to be. So I don't want somebody to use, how can I say, a loophole to stop them from being where they need to be. If it's back on their couch, not serving you in this capacity because they lack the capacity. Go back to right now. So we had a clerk that used to be the city's clerk. She wasn't a deputy clerk, she was the clerk. So capacity is there. So if you want to get the city where they need to be, there's no excuse for it not being that way. So if you want to use that respectfully as a shield to prevent something that's inevitable, because eventually it's gonna happen. If the people don't want your service, they're gonna keep on making it known. They don't need to line up outside the door to make it known. But with that, there's a pandemic going on, and I respect that 100%. So we have to do more with what we have to keep us all safe. So there's a measure that we need to conduct. There's boxes by the police desk. If you have administrative documentation that you have to get into the city's action line, if you will, that box by the police officer's desk will be checked by other departments within the city. So you still have the capacity to get your needs met. If somebody continues to ignore your needs, we need to go to the next higher headquarters. We go to the county and ask for assistance. We go to the prosecutor's office at the county to ask for assistance. So it's not the end of the road right here. So don't let a piece of paper stop you from getting where you need to be. And thank you very much. And that's all I understand. And that's all I have.
Dr. Smith.
Thank you to my colleagues, administration, a great deputy clerk for everything you do.
Amen.
Most importantly, I want to thank the great citizens, the residents of East Cleveland, my neighbors. Thank you for checking on your health, interest, rights, and needs. I hope that in 2022, you will continue to check on your health, interest, rights, and needs. God bless East Cleveland. Thank you.
Council Martin.
I rise to speak very positive. Newport Avenue, Lee Road. Oh, I rode down Lee Road the other day and I smiled and grinning. I said, oh, this looks so much better. It's good to ride down. Thank you for Chapman and Euclid. Because I brought it up, I say, I hope that, it's been like months and they did a little bit, but for the traffic flow, whatever they're doing, it'll be a whole lot better. I want to concentrate on the positive. We got basically 20-some days before we have the new year. We're gonna have a new council person that I think is gonna bring some clarity and her gift skills and talents to this organization. But optimistically, we've got to work together. Okay. The mayor has his role. You can't take that from him. We have our role. And if we're not working together, what good is it? We talk about the 400 years that we've been in this country. At one point, we were property chattel, told what to do, where to go. And we know all the stuff that we've gone through. But ironically, we have 2021 in this city, a judicial system that's African American, a legislative body that's African American, and administration is African, and a school system is run by African American. Why can't we get it together? So my heart and my soul is focused toward that for 2022. I'm gonna do my best in whatever capacity that I am is to work with people. I'm gonna do my best. I pray for the administration, I pray for the council. If we don't get it together with all the stuff happening in this country, with voting and all that, we're going backwards. We don't have the leadership that we used to have with Carl Stokes, Lou Stokes, George Ford, say what you want, but they provided leadership. We're not there now, but we can be there. I think that Brandon King can be a great mayor. I think that. And I think that this can be a good council. But if we don't work together, it's just gonna be the same old thing I've dealt with for almost 30 years. Okay, now I can go back further than a lot of you when we did a lot better. Okay, but we've got to turn it around. So they're looking at us. We're unique in the state of Ohio. We're the only city in the state that we run. We run in everything. The school system, everything, we run it. So can we get it together? I've spoken, thank you.
Thank you, each and every one of you for coming out today. And like I said, a lot of things that's been happening in our city has been happening because we have worked on it together. And, we are making it happen. And like I asked Mayor King to communicate with us more and to let us know what's actually going on, to start happening. And the meetings that we set up, we hope that we keep, so we will be looking like, where is Mayor King at the time when we need him, and willing to work with him. But he have to work back with us because money is getting spent. We got COVID money that's getting ready to take place for our community. We hope that managing this money is going to do a great have a great impact in our community. $13 million, like we said earlier, like I said earlier, that we had an opportunity and still might have that same opportunity of getting that building right down here across the street from Brandon King building. Because, the county offered that to us a year ago. Mayor King told them no, but now we got money, we can invest now, and we can get grocery stores and do the things that we need to do for our community and help out our community. Our citizens deserve it, they really deserve more. They deserve to have a decent, and that's what I would do. And I hope council agree when we get the building that we will have our own headquarters, because we was promised last year through the budget. You remember? Do you recall that council actually supposed to have their own office, and that never happened? So it was embarrassing for us as council as a whole to have to go into a clerk office to have meetings and stuff. And when we have space right here at City Hall, we had space right here where it could have been our office. So that never happened. But we is going to look for other space. So, and to expand the council office to in Ward 2, that would be beautiful, and bring back my voting codes so people can get out and vote. Because they took away the voting codes. So they really couldn't even vote. And they took away, a lot of things in my ward, the transportation, people is complaining about the transportation now, we just looking forward to having developers that's going to come in front of council. We don't need developers to be behind council back. If anybody is doing anything in East Cleveland, it's citizens and as council as a whole, should have a right to see who's working into our city. And when we don't know who's working into our city and we're saying that it's not coming soon, we don't even know what's coming. Like next door to us, it looked like a grocery store right here besides the parking lot. But I see groceries going in and out, but it don't have no sign of what's in it, so we need to identify who's living in our city and identify the property that is being flipped, because we don't know who owns what. So we have to get to the bottom of all this so we can keep track. So by me being on contract and property, I know that the next door neighbor lot is very, very important. And if they just can come in and show us what they're gonna do with their lot, it's okay with me. Because if they're gonna beautify the lot, if they have a blueprint on what they're gonna put on their lot, I don't have nothing against the next door neighbor lot. So that's what I have to say. And also, we have for now, Judge Dawson and I, Juanita Gowdy, Councilwoman, we have right now 2 canned goods for the tickets, because it's the
and one toy. 5 canned goods, 1 toy for 1 red light ticket. 10 canned goods, 2 toys for 2 red.
Okay, so it's 5 canned goods and 1 toy for the red light ticket. So if you have any red light tickets that's been flashing behind you, come on in and get that cleared off. Because that's what we doing through now, all the way to December the 31st. Thank you.
Do the city know that?
5 canned goods and 1 toy.
Yes, and if you have 2 tickets, it's 10 and good.
And 2
And 2 toys. So let's do it, y'all. For no tickets.
Hey,
Council President, you're gonna close
go ahead.
on the 60 seconds. Thank you. So I just wanted to address the council person-elect. You may have not heard me say this before. So please, please understand me, as the other councilors had heard me say this before. Please take all public records requests up to the law department. Put it in writing and give it to Maxine. Right? Please. Don't see me in the grocery store, don't see me standing in line at McDonald's and say, hey, I want this, and this, right? I didn't write it down, and I'm not going to write it down. Please, kindly, put it in writing, take it up to the law department, follow the procedure, and we'll get you any document that you so desire that exists.
I would
There were
like to
a number
request that you
of
review the
things that
sunshine
you
laws. I would like to request that you review the sunshine laws. The sunshine laws state very specifically that requests can be made any which way, that I don't even need to give my name, that,
You don't have to talk right now, because it's still his
right,
time.
and I am advising him to follow the
I
law.
just want to make sure we get this squared away. You know, do this when we get.
The sunshine law, I would advise all of you to review the sunshine laws.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. So I would ask that any public record request, and we've been through this a number of years, be in writing, go down to the law department. A number of things were mentioned. I am more than willing to meet with you or meet with council to then answer these questions that there aren't any documents for. But there are documents that have been given to the city council last year in regards to the grant that you were asking. So public record request upstairs, if you desire a meeting to fill in some of the blanks on those, set it up through city council, or you met with me, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. You can reach back out to my executive assistant, Belinda, and she'll set you up another meeting. That was all I wanted to comment on, Council President. Barring any questions or concerns, that's it. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Thank everybody on Zoom.
Thank you for attending this meeting.
Madam
Now
Clerk,
we adjourn.
Madam President, I move. Yeah, you
No,
said,
can I finish talking?
go ahead, I thought you were through. Okay, go ahead. I mean, don't make a big deal out of it. Go ahead.
Like I was gonna say, thank y'all for coming out here tonight. And with that said, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Well, that's what I was trying to do. I moved
But
in the
you
meeting.
can't talk over me.
Oh, I wasn't talking up. I thought you were coming to an end. I moved that the meeting be adjourned.
Second.
Goodness.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The time is 7:28.